Welcome back to Larkhall. Before we get underway with the first race action of the weekend, let's have a look at a lap of the track. We're on board with Lucas Blanford off the start line. The little left-hand kink is the first turn. That brings you down to another left-hander. Lucas using the visor cam for the first time, so we get a real driver's eye perspective. This is the new section of track, the left-hander into the right-hander. Used to be a double apex. A lot of crashes in the double apex, and we've seen a bit of an incident there. Come out of the bottom of the circuit now. We're on the long run up to the main body of the circuit. Right-hander coming up. This is an overtaking opportunity. You'll see plenty of overtaking here this weekend. This leads down to what used to be the hairpin here on the left, but this is the new section of track now. Tighter hairpin comes out of this hairpin. The old hairpin is on the left now. That leads to yet another hairpin. Lots of overtaking opportunities, and of course as a racing driver that's what you want. We're now down to the right hand kink. Here it is, right hander. Not really an overtaking opportunity, but this turn is the final turn on the track. You'll see plenty of overtaking here this weekend on that corner, and that is a lap of the circuit here at Larkhall.
We are currently bathed in sunshine, but things are going to start hotting up on the track right now because we're going racing. It's Junior Rotax up first, so let's go and join your race commentators, Jake Sanson and Alan Tadei.
Thanks, Kev. Junior Rotax up first, and it's Dan Ginshard and Gabe Fairbrother from Dylan Mackay and Sophie Kinghorn. Then Duncan and Kennedy, Usukov and Taylor, Alex Duncan and Angus Scrivener rounding out the top 10. It's going to be a very busy race, this one. 27 drivers on the starting grid, and this new configuration of the West of Scotland Kart Club's Larkhall circuit definitely delivers great action. I was here a few times after it had only just opened, and I tell you what, this place is absolute fever pitch. It was always a classic, now it's a modern classic. Gabe Fairbrother will be our 360-degree onboard cameraman to give you a driver's eye view around the circuit in this Junior Rotax UKC final at Larkhall. Ready to go? And the even side of the grid gets the disadvantage. That often happens here. So Ginshard is going to get the start away from Mackay. Fairbrother has slotted into third place, though. A good start. He's managed to shake off Stephen Duncan for the moment. So already an aggressive start. Duncan had a look there for the inside in the left-hander, but there's no way Fairbrother's going to concede the space. We're on board with him as he chases after Dylan Mackay for the Cannon Motorsport team, but it's Dan Ginshard that leads the way. And in 2021, we already know that if you give Dan Ginshard an inch, he's going to take a mile.
He is unbeaten this season, Jake. He's won all the pre-finals, including the pre-final this weekend. Coming into this race, that's what's given him pole. Unbeaten, he is in epic form. He's a real quality driver, we know that, and moving forward, what a career he's got looming.
Yeah, some great battles already in the midfield as drivers really starting to step up the attack. A couple of drivers might have a think about the overtake into the final hairpin. It isn't easy to get that done, but it's Ginshard from Mackay, Fairbrother, Steve Duncan, Sophie Kinghorn again doing well. Usukov just got Kennedy. That was a beautiful move up the inside into turn one. Kennedy's coming back at him though. Don't even think about it, sunshine. This is my position. If you want to move past me, you're going to have to come up with something a little bit more special than that, thanks. Here's Fairbrother chasing down Dylan Mackay. Oh, he's not going to come from that far back, is he? He is, you know. Excellently done in the right-hander. Well sorted out there from Gabe Fairbrother. And now the battle leans again. Now that's for fifth position. That's Usukov and Kennedy still wrestling with each other. And that is Kennedy chopping across on Gustav Usukov. No way you're getting past there. Now through the hairpin, he tries again. And watch out, because Connor Leishman is on the warpath. So he's going to be trying to get his way through. But this battle for sixth position between Kennedy and Usukov is definitely detrimental. They're dropping away from the top five as the leading quintet definitely start to stretch away now. Ginshard, Fairbrother, Mackay, Kinghorn, and Stephen Duncan. Oh, and that's an off. An off into turn one. I think that was Kyle Crookshanks in the 40, so a big problem there. It's easy to go off there at turn one. Yep, there it is, Kyle Crookshanks. Rather sadly, he has dropped it at turn one. It's so fast through that left sweeper. It's easy to just get one wheel on the grass and it throws you off the road. This battle for sixth is really getting hectic. Launching up the inside. Beautiful lunge there from, I believe, Usukov. It is indeed. And now Leishman is trying every trick in the book to get past Kennedy. Here comes Ruben Kernahan up the inside line. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does. And Leishman falls back several places.
Great battling through the field, Jake. Amazing action already in this one. Sophie Kinghorn, if anyone thought that Sophie's performance at Rowrah when she finished on the podium was a little bit of a fluke, well, think no more. She was right up the top of the grid, and she's doing well here today, still in 4th place. But what a great battle we've got going on. That is the 40 kart, so clearly that's a terminal failure he's had, probably mechanical, I'm guessing. Daniel Ginchard with the fastest lap, Jake.
Harry Pullen's made the move in the mid-pack there as well to get past Alex Cull, so that was well done there from Pullen. But the top 5 are definitely stretching out that path ahead of Usakov and Kennedy. Kernahan doing well to work his way up into 8th place. Who's that in 9th? That is Nathan Smith, I do believe, in the 77. Oh! A little bit of dust kicked up. It's so easy with this new circuit. Drivers really pushing the limits of where they can position the kart. And you can see out of that hairpin, there is no room at all for negotiation. You are straight into that barrier on the far side if you get it wrong.
Absolutely. You can see the difference in the colour on the grass. The grass has been dried out. It's really warm this weekend, one of the warmest weekends of the year. So grass, instead of being green, is brown in a lot of patches. So on that occasion, it was a bit like Apollo 11 kicking up dust.
So here they come, and it's still an intense battle in the midfield as Alex Cull tries to fight back on Harry Pullen. The top 5 getting clear. Look at the lead that Dan Ginchard is building up now on Gabe Fairbrother. He is just absolutely monstrous if you get him into the lead of a race. He'll just disappear up the inside. That's Kennedy having a look. Oh dear. Was there enough space for both drivers to get through there at the same time? Oh, they're still debating it. And Nathan Smith has to concede. Jay Kennedy does get through. And that's going to give Ruben Kernahan a chance to line up the move. So Kennedy, Smith and Kernahan still debating 7th place. Gustav Usakov has been able to get clear and run away in 6th position. But the problem is he's now 2 seconds to the deficit of Duncan. But these 4 could be about to battle. Fairbrother, Mackay, Kinghorn and Duncan very close together now. So is this going to be the move from Kinghorn? Throws it up the inside. Oh, just couldn't quite get the traction through the mid-apex there. Has to bail out of it in the end, otherwise there could have been a moment between the two. So Sophie Kinghorn definitely dialing up a look at the podium finish now as she tries again on Dylan Mackay.
Yeah, she had a podium finish last time. I think she fancies another one, Jake. Look, judging by the performance so far, she clipped the curb there, so as you say, had to back out
up and over. That was a bit of a rodeo run for Max Taylor. He's managed to land it on the 4 wheels, though. He's not done yet. He's still going.
Loses places with another look at it.
This is so easy to do. Look, you've got 2 or 3 karts coming into the same bit of space. Scrivener is the one he caught.
Yeah, well, Angus Scrivener's under investigation. Driving standards, you can see he's just caught the back end of the other kart there that pushed him over the other driver.
You've got to feel for Aaron Mackay in the middle of all that, the 98. He had nowhere to go. He was not really involved in it. He just got clattered into the side of, and it looks as though he's going to be able to keep going. So thank goodness Aaron Mackay is all right in all of that. Usakov there on his own in no man's land in 6th position, hoping that these 4 start a battle because then he's got a chance to go for the podium. Otherwise, it's all over. Look at this squabble, and it's all gone wrong. There is Aaron Mackay. He's gone in with Rhys Duffy. What a shame, and that is exactly what we were talking about. It's so easy to get wide, and it's so easy to hit that barrier.
Duffy and Mackay both caught out there in that midfield battle.
Kinghorn's got 3rd, sorry. Kinghorn's got 3rd, and this is how she did it. She's managed to do that at the same time that accident was going on. Kinghorn in the final turn. Textbook manoeuvre up the inside, 3rd position. Lovely move from Sophie Kinghorn. Now she's looking good for a 2nd podium in a row, and that is excellent work from her. Now she's got to try and cover Dylan Mackay and Stephen Duncan for the remainder of this final, and there's 7.5 minutes left on the clock at this point. So very tricky indeed. Sophie Kinghorn has gone into 3rd, but she now wants to step up the attack and go for Fairbrother. If she can catch up to Fairbrother and make a move, then that is going to give her 2nd position. That will be her best result in a final if she can get past Fairbrother. And when Ginchard is as dominant as he is out front, that's almost as good as a win for Sophie Kinghorn.
Absolutely. If you can get past Gabe Fairbrother at any time, a top quality driver, then never mind whether you're a girl or a boy, it doesn't really matter. But if she gets past him, that will be impressive.
Now, fair play to Nathan Smith. He's managed to drop the pack behind him, and he's got a bit of a gap now over Connor Leishman. That's going to help him out a little bit. This is the mid-battle. We've got Thomas Carter, Andrew Hughes, then Bailey, Beaumont, and Angus Scrivener, who is somehow still in the middle of all that mix, despite the flotsam and jetsam he's had to dodge over the course of this race. So not a bad run so far.
Look at this battle here for second looming though. It's all coming, it's all happening in second, third, fourth and fifth. It's close. Ginchard is a mile clear again, Jake. Just dominating once more.
Yeah, it's great to see the amount of hard work that Dan Ginchard has been putting into his craft out front. It's wonderful to see. This is getting spicy. Hughes, Bailey, Beaumont, Scrivener, and then we've got this battle behind. This is Ardolino, Taylor, Haig and Kennedy. Oh, that's a black flag. That's for Scrivener. So that is for Angus Scrivener. They've clearly felt that incident we saw earlier on with Max Taylor going up in the air, they must have felt he had something to do with it.
Well, I mean, yes, I think it's a little bit harsh, the black flag there. I think it's a little bit harsh, unless it's for something else we haven't seen, Jake. Sometimes there's another incident that the cameras haven't picked up, of course.
And of course, the black flag does not mean your race is over. It means
No.
you have to come into the pits, you report to the stewards, they tell you what's going on, and then you go back out.
Leave the circuit, report to the clerk of the course. He'll have a little word with you. He may let you back out or he may not.
Just check out that gap. It's 3.5 seconds, and we've still got over 5 minutes of racing to run. Ginchard is just storming out in front. He's in a different league to the rest of his opposition this weekend. Well, this season, it's fair to say. Fairbrother, though, is being caught rapidly by Kinghorn. Look back, and actually Yuzakov is losing ground to Nathan Smith. Smith is gaining ground. There's Duncan closing on Leishman. And then we've got the 10th place battle. This is Pullen and Cull. Hughes, Bailey, Beaumont, Carter, then Sam Ardolino. Scrivener has gone into the pit, so he has done as he was instructed to do. But Fairbrother still hanging on a second place in front of Kinghorn and Mackay. Duncan is right there as well in 5th position. They are trying to stay as close to the leader as possible. That's not going to happen. You can see the old configuration of the circuit, that little bit of an extension, and even here, the extension up that banking on the hairpin. It really has changed the way this kart is set up entirely, because even though it just gives you a tiny bit more road to play with, it does change entirely how you go about setting up the car.
Yeah, that corner reminds me very much of Shell at Alton Park, with the camber really on camber.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful addition, and I have to say, the work that's been done here at the West of Scotland Kart Club, it was always one of my favourite venues in karting. It's still the very first karting venue I ever saw anything of back in 1998. And it's one of my all-time faves. So the update that the guys at the circuit have made here to it has definitely improved it no end. It's made it a real driver's challenge now.
Yeah, it certainly has. It's a real credit to David Molesdale and his team, not only for the improvements they've made on track, but the other little improvements they made off track, which you won't necessarily see in this programme.
Absolutely.
But lots of things going on here at Larkhall to make it a real international, high-quality circuit.
This 360-degree camera doesn't just show you what the driver we're riding on board with goes through. You can even see what the chasing drivers are going through. The slight difference in the dynamic in the apex between Kinghorn and Mackay. Kinghorn looks a little bit looser, but she's able to use the energy of the car as it travels through the apex to build on the speed, whereas Mackay is just that tiny bit smoother, a little bit more controlled, but he gets more deliberation on the throttle as he gets off the turn, and that's how he's able to get close to Kinghorn. Two very different driving styles there from Kinghorn and Mackay, and they are both able to get within the draft of Fairbrother. Fascinating. This 360-degree camera doesn't just show you what the driver we're riding on board goes with. Look, two completely different approaches through the exit of the apex, but it's almost identical in terms of the pace. It's just what the driver feels comfortable with. Kinghorn has her first look up the inside. It compromises her on the exit. Watch for Dylan Mackay popping up on the inside in the next left-hander. Oh, well, we can't see that. This is a little bit too spicy for that. Cull is trying to shake off Beaumont, and Rhys Bailey is trying to get his move on the inside. Excellent racing at the front, just as good in the midfield.
Yeah, great action throughout the field, as we've seen in the Ultimate Karting Championship all season long. That battle there for second, third and fourth. Really spicy. Here they come through the right-hander. There's going to be an overtaking opportunity here in the hairpin. Will Sophie go for it? Look for her going down the inside. No, not through at this stage.
She had to blip the throttle. She was gaining on him a little bit too quickly. She couldn't quite pop it up the inside for the hairpin, and then had to blend off the throttle, try not to lose too much momentum, and then had the worry that Dylan Mackay might have popped up the inside. So she had to be very careful where she placed the car. Now she comes off the final turn. Look, she drifts a little bit wider, but she gets on the power that fraction of a second earlier than Dylan Mackay does, and a little bit earlier than Gabe Fairbrother can. So that actually puts her a little bit stronger through that mid-apex. Here we go back in the midfield squabble. Up the inside, that is Alex Cull getting his move. And still a big tussle going on there in that mid-pack. Now, here's the chance. Sophie Kinghorn with a great exit. Surely this is it. No, Fairbrother shuts the door.
No, she's looking for it. What I do like, though, Jake, she's not looking behind. She's not worrying about Dylan Mackay. She should be worried about Dylan Mackay because Dylan will make the move as soon as he gets the opportunity. But she's thinking about moving forward,
there
not
we go.
moving back. And just so say that, Dylan takes the first opportunity straight down the inside. But she's still there, she's still on it, and she'll look to recover that position as soon as she possibly can.
Yet another fastest lap from Dan Ginchard at 50.29. There's Harry Pullen. Is he going to get the run on Andrew Hughes? Side by side, in through the right flick. No problems at all there. But watch out because Henry Beaumont wants a piece of the action. And here comes Alex Cull as well. They are all squabbling away as they come off the turn. Excellent racecraft. Oh, and a little bit of a run wide. Is there going to be enough space for them all to get through on the grass? Goodness me, Harry Pullen running out of road.
Kicking up dust, Apollo 11 we call that, kicking up dust on the outside, and that is a battle for 10th place. Fantastic battle it is too.
So Sophie Kinghorn still all over the back of Dylan Mackay. They are running out of time. They're only going to get a couple more laps of this. Off the exit of their banked hairpin. Up through the right, through the left, stay off the curbs, just catch them a little bit on the white line, and through the final apex, and onto the main straight again. You keep it flat to the throttle as you go through the left, you blip the throttle, no brakes needed, just a little lift, a little feather as they call it. So this is where it's going to be an interesting battle in the midfield again. And this is not going to be easy to sort out. Reese Bailey has pressure from Pullen up the inside in the hairpin. It's all gone wrong. Oh, Pullen and Bailey, they ran out of space to play with each other and it's all ended in tears. What a shame.
Right in the midfield, but that's what happens when you give no quarter, you're asked no quarter. Sometimes it can go wrong, not deliberate.
I mean, fair play
to
both drivers. They've kept going, so they have got going again. They're not still there on the final turn, so we're not going to finish this race under full course yellows. That's one thing. Here's the battle again. Kinghorn trying one more time to get that third position away. Ginchard has this 1-1 on a plate up front. Fairbrother second. I'm fairly sure he's got this on the last lap, but it's all about whether Kinghorn can make a move back on Dylan Mackay. Mackay might try something on Fairbrother. If Kinghorn can keep her wits about her, and those two up front have a little bit of a melee, then Kinghorn could snatch second place away. Down the back straight, back on the throttle, up towards the right-hander. Fairbrother is defending, obviously. Dylan Mackay trying to get one over on him. This could be the move. This could be the move, and Fairbrother senses it. Is there going to be a chance? Kinghorn's going to try on the inside. Mackay shuts the door. Fairbrother still trying to keep that door firmly shut. A little bit of a nudge. Come on, you're holding me up. Is this going to be the chance? They're going to connect with each other. But it's Dan Ginchard that takes a dominant victory. Epic work from Ginchard. Who's going to get second? Will Fairbrother just about be able to hang on to it? Oh, yes, he does. Mackay third, Kinghorn fourth, Steve Duncan in fifth place from Smith and Usikoff. Absolutely spellbinding stuff to the line. Ginchard absolutely romping away with a victory. All the action given by Fairbrother, Mackay and Kinghorn, and that is how they finish behind the winner, Ginchard. Steve Duncan in fifth place ahead of Nathan Smith and Gustav Usikoff. Connor Leishman hangs on to eighth place in front of Alex Duncan and Andrew Hughes. But Dan Ginchard, absolutely monstrous, and he is just a stone's throw away from dominating, never mind winning, this Ultimate Karting Championship.
Well, a big grid for that one there in the Junior Rotax, and plenty of battles going on throughout the race, especially for second and third place. But when it comes to Junior Rotax at UKC this season, there's really only one name you need mention, and that is Daniel Ginchard. In a class of his own once again, with a huge win there. Now makes it 3 from 3. Let's go and see what he had to say when I caught up with him at the podium.
Dan, maximum points throughout the season. You've won every pre-final and final. You've won it again today. Talk us through that final from your point of view.
Well, I started from pole position, which is obviously the best place to start, and after I had a clean start, I just controlled the pace, controlled the gap, made sure I made no mistakes, and just kept it all on the grey bit.
And for those new to karting, they might think, well, once you get out front, it's easy. But what's the key once you are out front? Is it just maintaining your concentration?
I think you just need to stay concentrated on what you're doing. Even though you're out front on your own, that's when mistakes arise more, because there's no one, you're not chasing anyone, you're on your own, you have no gauges to how fast you should be, so you just have to keep your mind concentrating on what you're doing.
Okay, who do you want to thank for your weekend?
I want to thank Argenti Motorsport, Ogden Motorsport, my family, Curtis Gregory and Puma Motorsport.
Okay, well done.
Ginchard is turning into one of the serious British karting talents. Look at that lead over Gustav Uzakov. It's almost done and dusted. Dylan Mackay and Sophie Kinghorn tied for third, but Stephen Duncan and Nathan Smith are very close. Gabe Fairbrothers creeping into the fight for third place as well. This one could go down to the wire for the places behind Ginchard.
Some great racing from the junior Rotax there. Join us after the break when it's the turn of the seniors.